Hello to the nation. Hello to the nation, DrPlaystation Nation here to talk to you guys over a little bit of a Redstone style video sort of thing. This is episode 1 of Command Block 101, my series where I teach you guys everything and anything to do with Minecraft command blocks. This is a series I've been wanting to do for a while, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. I just sort of got around to it now with all the cool sort of stuff going on with command blocks, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Before I get started, just like to mention 2 quick things. One, guys, these videos do take quite a while for me to set up. You set up all these sets and all the commands and stuff like that, so if you guys could slam that like button down below, that would be greatly appreciated. As well as you guys can subscribe for future episodes if they already haven't come out. As well, there'll be an annotation on screen once future episodes do come out. The second thing, guys, if you guys would like to check out my Minecraft server, my server is mc.mcwarside.com. You guys can go check those out, I pin in the description, and come play with me. But anyway, with that said, now let's get started. So, this being episode 1 of Minecraft Command Block 101, this is going to be the basics of the basics. So, first things first, how do you get these things? How do you get these command blocks? Well, you need to be an op player, right? And you also need to be in game mode, because there's no way to craft these things, and you can't just simply search it in this, search creative menu thing. What you need to do is you're going to do /give, so, oh, that was terrible. You're going to /give your name, so I'm DrPlaystation, and then you're going to want to give yourself Minecraft : command block, so command _ block, just like so. If you guys use the tab key, you guys will be able to type that in a lot faster, and when you give that to yourself, it'll give you one of those. If you want to give yourselves more of them, you can give yourselves, you guys can give yourselves a ton of them, and yeah, so that could be something that you guys can do. And I can delete these too, because I don't want them clogging up my inventory. But yeah, so now once you have them, you again need to be an op player in creative mode in order to place them, as well as in order to write a command. So, Minecraft doesn't, or Mojang doesn't really teach you a lot about these things. They sort of just give them to you, and they don't really don't really tell you anything about them, along with the same sort of style as everything. You need to figure out all the crafting recipes in Minecraft, just like that. You need to figure out everything to do with the command block. All it tells you is that you can use @P, @R, and @A, which are really just very arbitrary pointers, because you don't even know anything else to put. So, once you're an op player in game mode, this is basically how a command block works. How you're going to activate a command block is by either strongly powering it with something like, say, a button, so that'll activate this. So if I put a command in this, like, say, hi, what it will do is it'll say hi in the server chat, so that's the server saying hi. In addition to that, if I have some redstone on me like so, I could set up a redstone line that would go there, and then I can do something like this, and then bam, that's going to activate it as well. In addition, just to notify you guys, if the redstone is running perpendicular, or sorry, I guess parallel, not routing into it. So as you guys can see, there's a difference between that, where the redstone's going in, and that, where the redstone is not going in, and if I were to press that, it would not go off. So you guys can run redstone parallel, I guess, to your command block, but if it is going into it, then it will activate it. Or if you guys were to do something similar like what I just showed you, but have some redstone on top, then it will activate, so yeah. And then also you can activate it with things like comparators and things like repeaters. So if I get a repeater like so, and then I get a comparator like so, you can do different things. So I can activate it with a repeater. So if I were to go like that and like that and activate that, the repeater will activate it. And in addition to that, the comparator will output. So if this output was true, so it did work, this command block did output high, that means that this is activated. So this is activated. It's kind of difficult to sort of visualize that for you guys. Just simply, every time it does work, it will activate a true output. Now, if there was something that was a false output, then it wouldn't be successful, and then this would not be on. So it's a little bit difficult to visualize, but you guys can also use comparators to activate these things, as you guys can see. But yeah, I'm gonna get into sort of comparator logic and how that sort of affects command blocks and all that stuff a little bit later. This is just the basics, but that's pretty much how command blocks work, and you guys can type in a ton of commands. Now, these are all the commands that you guys are going to be able to type in. If you guys do /help, it'll tell you all of the different commands that you guys can type in. And first of all, I just like to show you that these are the commands that are unusable by command blocks, and the commands that are impractical by command blocks. So the unusable ones are ones like ban, kick, up, pardon, save, stop, whitelist. Those ones a command block cannot do. I can't go into a command block and do ban DrPlaystation. And this is just simply for security purposes, so somebody can't just, it says unknown command, somebody can't just, log in, set up this command block, and then it'll just bans everyone continuously. That would be, it's a security risk, and that's sort of why. It also can't save things, it can't turn save on or off, and all that other stuff. The impractical commands are things that it really doesn't make sense to use this for. So again, you can do a command block and then put the help command in there, just like you guys just saw me do here, except when I do this, it's actually not going to throw it in my chat or anybody's chat. Instead, it's going to put it in here. So you'll see it in the output of the command block. And if I didn't mention, this is the output of the command block. It'll tell you if it was successful or not. So if I did help or something, then it's going to tell me unknown command, try help for list of commands, and if I put in a successful command and hit that, then it's going to give me the same output. As you guys can see here, it gives you the same output as it does there. So anyway, yeah, so that's how that works. But these are the impractical ones, so help, seed, scoreboard, objectives, teams. Those will just show it in the output. They won't actually output that piece of information. So now that that's being said, let's go into what we can actually do with command blocks. So the useful things that I sort of think that we can do, and things that I'm going to sort of outline. So we got about 20 or so commands here that I'm going to go through pretty quickly. So we have the /me command, which with /me you guys can use that, and the server will basically say something about a person. So you can do me at player, so this @player is going to choose the closest player to the command block, and then you guys can do that. You guys can also do @r and then @a. So @r is basically all the players within a certain, @r is basically a random player, and @a is basically every player. So that's what you guys can do. But because I'm not on because I'm the only person here, I won't actually be able to demonstrate @random and then @all. So anyway, continue on to the next one. We have /tell, /message, /w. Because you can't send yourself a message or anything like that, I'm gonna have to use the server. So yeah, basically the server whispers to you, you're pretty. Moving on to the next one, we have default game mode. That's very self-explanatory. The command block will just set the default game mode on the server. That's something useful for maybe a copy and paste block that you want to copy and paste into multiple worlds. That'll set all that stuff up for you. In addition, you have difficulty, so this will set up the difficulty: easy, normal, hard. Moving on, we have /give. So /give will do things like give myself a diamond sword if I want to. It'll be give @player Minecraft diamond sword. So this is the new way of basically putting in items in Minecraft. You used to put in the IDs. That is being phased out in Minecraft 1.8, so I suggest you guys get used to this. It's something that I myself am getting used to, but it's a little bit more intuitive than the IDs. In addition to that, another thing that I have to get used to is, as you guys can see, you don't need to put a / at the beginning of a command. That's something that I didn't mention yet, but that's something that you guys can easily form a bad habit. I usually put the /, and I'm trying to get out of that habit currently. So, /give, I can give myself a sword, you can give yourself multiple swords, or whatever. Moving on, /kill, I'm sure you guys could understand what that one's gonna do. I'm not going to bother killing myself. The next one, game mode. So if I hit this, it's going to ungame mode me. If I change this to game mode 1, then it would game mode me back. Game rule. So game rule, what this is going to do is basically you can either use it to set or print a certain game rule. So in this case, I'm setting do fire tick to false, so that fire spreader is off. Do fire tick is a game rule, and that's false. So there is more game rules if you guys would like to see them. You guys can do /game rule, and it'll tell you all of them. You guys can turn off command block output, so all of this stuff, all of these set DrPlaystation's game mode, all that stuff is command block output. You guys can turn that off by doing /game rule command block output false. Do daylight cycles so the sun doesn't move. That's what I currently have set up, so it's always day. Again, do fire tick, do mob loot so mobs don't drop things, do mob spawning, do tile drops so when I break an item I can keep it, keep inventory, mob griefing, and natural regeneration. So natural regen is something that's in like UHC, ultra hardcore. You don't naturally regen health. Moving on from there, we have /effect and /enchant. So, /effect is basically pretty self-explanatory. You guys can give yourself an effect like blindness or regen or fire resistance or invisibility or whatever, or jump boost for 10 seconds. I gave myself the effect blindness. So if you guys want to do that, that's /effect. The player that you're trying to affect, so you guys can use at all, and it'll affect everyone on the server. And then the actual effect itself. So you guys can simply go on Minecraft Wiki and you guys can look up what the different potion IDs are, or the effect IDs. So, you know, things like, say, 10 would be regen. You have, I think 8 is jump boost, like all the different ones that you guys can go and figure out yourselves. I usually refer to a list, so I don't know very many of them. But yeah, so that's that. If I were to put 5, let's find out what 5 is. 5 is, oh, it didn't. I am not a opt player in creative, so I need to switch to creative, so there we go. And if I were to change that to 5, then it's going to give me strength. So strength is 5, and if I were to give myself 8, then it would give me jump boost. So I have jump boost 10, as you guys can see. And you guys can give yourself super high jump boost, so I could give myself jump boost like 90 or something like that, and then be able to jump like hundreds of blocks into the air. After that, this is the multiplier. So this is, if I change that to jump boost 20, that'll give me jump boost 20. So as you guys can see, or sorry, that's the seconds, and then that is the multiplier. I screwed that up, I'm sorry guys. So that is the seconds, and that is the multiplier. I'm actually going to change this to 5 seconds so that I don't have to deal with this for too long. So that's the jump boost and the multiplier. So I got jump boost 20 for 5 seconds, and now it's gone. And then finally, the enchant. So enchant is a little bit different. So pretty much if I hit the enchant button, it's going to attempt to give me that enchant, but it's going to give me the output. The target doesn't hold an item, so I'm not holding any item. And then if I hit it while I'm holding a command block, obviously it's not going to give an enchant to a command block, and it's going to say the selected enchantment can't be added to the target item, being the item that I'm holding. But if I were to hold my diamond sword and hit /enchant, then it would give me, it would successfully enchant, and then it would give me the sharpness 5 sword. So that's what I put in here. If you guys also would like to go to the Minecraft Wiki, you guys can look up the enchantment IDs. 16 is sharpness. You can do something, I believe 17 is also something. Smite 5. So Smite 5 cannot be combined with Sharpness 5, so that's why it can't be added. But if you guys wanted to add that, then I can go like that, and then bam, I got Smite 5 and I got Sharpness 5. So if we wanted to change that back then there. And this 5 is just the multiplier on it, so if it was something like Fire Aspect, you couldn't have Fire Aspect 5 and it wouldn't work, so it would not be successful. Moving on from there, we have things like Play Sound. So with Play Sound, as I hope you guys could hear that, that's the Enderman Scream sound. So if you guys want to see that command, Play Sound, you put your sound ID again. I'm probably going to link you guys to the list of sounds that you guys can use. You're going to want to put who can hear it, so you guys can put a certain, like a random player or a certain player or something like that. If you guys wanted to make a custom map, you guys could put in your own custom sounds and then make a random person hear like a sound clip telling them a secret or something. That would be kind of neat. Anyway, moving on, these are basically your X, Y, and Z coordinates, so you guys can put these things called till. And if you put a till there, it basically means that wherever I'm standing, so the scream will happen to every player where I'm standing at a speed, or sorry, at a pitch and at a volume. So volume, I'm just going to use 1, and then at a pitch of 1. If I were to change that to 0.1, it's actually going to sound really weird. There you go. It sounds like really creepy and demonic, sort of, because it's playing at 1/10 the speed. So yeah, moving on from there, we have /say. So /say is something that I showed you guys before. Server's just gonna say /hi, or /say hi, and then it's gonna just say hi to me. We have set block. So what the set block does is you guys can actually place a block somewhere. So this is set block, you can do set block, the XYZ coordinate, and then followed by Minecraft, and then whatever block you would like. So if I hit that, bam, it's gonna place a diamond block there. And again, guys, if you guys are confused by any of these commands, for instance, if you want to do the play sound command, you guys can simply type in play sound into your Minecraft, and then it's going to tell you the syntax for typing in that command. So it's going to be play sound, the sound you want to play, the player, the XYZ, the volume, the pitch, and then the minimum volume. The minimum volume, the volume pitch, those are all, like anything that you guys see in square brackets is not required. It's a non-required element, which again is something more advanced that I'm going to get into later. This video is only meant to be the very basics. So pretty much anything that's in these triangle brackets is a required variable. Anything that's in these square brackets is a non-required variable. So that's just something for you guys to know. And then, so that's a set block, so that sets the block there, and I can, you know, break that and press it again. It's just going to keep placing that block there, and if the block's already there, then it's just going to place the block there again. And then from there, we have set world spawn, so that's very, you know, basic. It just sets the world spawn wherever you want. So if I do set world spawn, as you guys can see, the world spawn was placed to whatever point. And then I could also do set world spawn and then type, you know, 23, 34, whatever, and then that would work. So moving on from there, spread players. That's a command that I can't really do right now because again, I only have one player. But if you did have multiple players and you did these spread players, then you guys can spread players through from an X and Z, so you guys can take from where the spread distance, the maximum range, and all that sort of stuff, and whether you have teams set up, so objectives. And objectives is something that I'm not going to be talking about, so if you guys want to know about objectives, I'm not talking about them this episode just because objectives are very difficult. So moving on from there, we have the tell raw. This is actually something that's pretty useful because you can use it to trick people on a server. So if say you have a mini game or something like that and you want to trick somebody or make it look like something happened that it didn't, then you can. So if you guys do tell raw, it's just tell raw and then the person that you'd like to tell. So you can use @player or you can use @all, so you can tell everybody, and then you guys can hit the button and boom, it's gonna say DrPlaystation killed Hyper Darkness, when that really didn't happen. I really didn't kill Hyper Darkness, but you guys can do that sort of stuff, and it'll just tell it raw without saying, you know, the server said this or whatever. It just inputs that into the chat directly. Moving from there, we have the test4 command. This test4 command simply is going, oh, and I guess I didn't type that one in. Test4 command is pretty much meant for testing for players or entities. Minecraft 1.7, I'm not 100% sure if the entities are fully functional, but I know you can test for a specific player. So if I wanted to, again, this is something that is more for an advanced project. If I wanted to make a machine that would test for when players are out of a base or in a base or something along those lines. Basically, when there's 6 people that are in a room, maybe a lobby, like once 6 people have joined and they're in there, then it would start the game or something like that. So it would test for a certain amount of people. And then using the test4 command, again, Minecraft is your friend. If you use /test4, it's going to test for whatever player, and then you guys can also add modifiers to that. Modifiers being something, again, a little bit more advanced. We're going to talk about that in a future episode. So then, we have the test4 block. This is exactly the same as test4, except for that's going to test for a specific block. Again, I didn't type this one in, just because it's a little bit more advanced. So if you wanted to test for, say this diamond block, I wanted to test if there was a diamond block there, then I would just do /test4 block, and then I can test for the block, and that would be tilde, -1, tilde, and then Minecraft diamond block. And then bam, successfully found a block underneath me. So it was right underneath me, and like I said before, the tilde is basically meant to, so it's going to input the coordinates that I'm currently standing on, and then the y coordinate would be -1. So that's sort of how that works. Again, something I'm going to talk about in a future episode. This is just basically meant to be an overview sort of thing. So if I throw these out, then, so that's the test4 block, and then if I were to output that again, now that I've destroyed that block, it's going to say there is no such block ID with that in that location. So, or if I were to do that again, it would say the block whatever is a titled quartz block. The block whatever is an air block because I broke the diamond block. So anyway, so then we just did test 4 block, and now we have time set and time add. So I'm sure at some point you guys have done time set and then some time, so 12,000 or something like that. And as you guys can see, I just set the time, but there's also time add. So if you guys want to do time add, by hitting this button, it's going to push, so if I did something like that, so the sun is going to be right about there. If I were to hit this button, it's going to add 1,000 ticks to the time or whatever. So that's going to be kind of helpful if you guys want to speed up the day process. Maybe you set one of these up next to a clock or something, and then it would constantly be adding 10 ticks or something like that every certain amount of time, or something along those lines maybe. After that, we have toggle downfall. So again, if I hit this button, as you guys can see, it's going to get all cloudy, the sun's going to go away, and that would toggle downfall on. I'm sure you guys already know about toggle downfall, but you can simply do it with a command block as well now. Then you have /TP, so with TP, I can hit this button, and it's going to teleport me to another coordinate. I have it right now teleporting me to the other side of the room, so yeah, you guys can do that. And that's sort of something. If you guys want to see that command, it's /TP, the player that you wish to teleport. In this case, I want just the closest player, which is me, and I want to teleport them 6 blocks on the x-axis. So I could also teleport me up 10 blocks if I wanted to. And I can hit this button, it's going to teleport me up 10 blocks and 6 over. So if I run back over here, now moving on to the final 2 commands, and that's /weather. So I can do /weather clear. You have a couple other options, so you can do /weather, and as you guys can see, clear, rain, thunder. So you can do /rain or /weather thunder, and then bam, changing rain to thunder, and then it would start. So as you guys can see, that's happening. And then instead, I want to actually clear the weather again, so it's going to come back up. And then in addition to that, you guys can also add a timer at the end. So you guys, after that modifier, like I was saying, the additional modifiers are the non-essential ones. You guys can add, seconds. So it's going to be clear for, however many seconds. So, and now finally, the last ones that sort of are pretty useful is XP. So if I were to switch my game mode, and I'm actually just going to go over here and use this game mode button that I conveniently made. What I can do is I can actually clear my XP, so I can take all my XP from me, and I can actually give myself XP. So as you guys can see, I just have XP, the amount of XP I want to give myself, so in this case 100 XP, and if you guys don't really know how XP works, it doesn't really matter. Basically, each level is compiled of a bunch of XP orbs, so each one of these, it's like giving myself 100 XP orbs. If I wanted to make this 100 levels, then I could just do a big L right there, and then like a capital L, and then bam, as you guys can see, it's giving me, oh, this didn't work. Oh yeah, hold on. /game mode 1. So then I could do 100 big L, and then bam. Yeah, there we go. So it's giving me 100 levels each time, and then I can use my XP minus, and that's going to basically minus a ton of XP from me, and you can't have negative XP, so it just goes down to 0. So if I were to take this off, I can show you guys something else. So that pretty much is it for this episode. So I'm just going to do game 1. I'm going to switch this back. I keep on forgetting to do that. And then game 0, I'm going to clear my XP. So as you guys, now we're kind of done the super useful parts of command blocks right now. So those are all the basic commands that you can do, and that might not seem like much. You guys be like, Nick, like what's the whole point of this? Why is this useful? Why could I use this in an adventure map or a game mode map or something like that? Well, it can be very useful. With only a few of these command blocks, we can do something like this. So I can go over here and I can buy a diamond sword. So it's gonna buy me a diamond sword. Then I can enchant it to level 8, and I can even teleport down here, and I can attack all of these creatures. That could easily be, I know, you probably wouldn't want to do that, but that could easily be some other type of, battle arena sort of thing that you guys could do, and this continuously works. So as you guys can see, if I go and get more levels, I can give myself some levels, and I can get them, and then, enchant my sword again and do it all over again. And that only uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 command blocks to do all of that. And they're pretty easy commands, the one that I showed you guys. Now, this isn't foolproof. Like I said, this is a basic video. For instance, I can just keep buying swords. I don't actually need to have that much XP, and it just keeps on trying to take XP from me, but because I'm at 0. So that would simply be, you know, we would need to test for a player with, you know, that amount of XP and, you know, do all that sort of stuff. And that's something that we will talk about in more advanced videos, so future episodes. And then, you know, in this case, the other error checking that we kind of need to do is when I go and enchant my sword, even if I just click that button, it will take the levels even if I didn't get an enchant. A simple sort of fix for that is if I go and I do game mode 1 and I grab a comparator like so, all you need to do is basically this is going to enchant my sword, and if that is successful, then it will take the levels from me. So if I do that, and then give myself some more levels, and I go over here. If I'm not holding the sword, it won't take the levels from me, but if I am holding the sword, it will take the levels from me and enchant the sword. And then finally, this teleport to battle zone. The battle zone is simply a TP to that coordinate. But anyway, guys, hopefully you did sort of enjoy this episode, and I guess I'll break down this a little bit more too. So the first thing is it's going to say has purchased a diamond sword. So as you guys can see, it says in the chat, DrPlaystation has purchased a diamond sword. That's what that does. Then it's going to say, then it's going to give me the diamond sword, and then finally it's going to subtract 5 levels, like I said, the capital L, and then the -5. Moving on from there, the next one that's going to enchant my sword is going to be, oh, I guess I didn't use that command block. Oh, I think I was going to do a play sound or something like that. It was going to play a sound, which you guys could use that here. You guys can, you know, add some more stuff, so it's going to play sounds or place blocks or something like that. So I guess I didn't use that one, but the next one is going to actually enchant the sword, and then, like I mentioned before, so if that wasn't successful, so like I was talking about comparators before, if that wasn't successful, as you guys can see now, that comparator is off. But if I were to have that, bam, it's successful, that comparator is now on. So that's basically how it works. If this enchanting succeeded, then this will be on. If it didn't succeed, then this will be off, and then that will activate this one, which is going to minus 8 levels of XP, the amount of levels to enchant to sharpness 5. And then finally, again, this one's just going to teleport me back down. So hopefully you guys kind of did enjoy this video. I hope it wasn't too long-winded in explaining certain things, but hopefully you guys are going to stick around for the second episode. In the second episode, I'm going to go over basic syntax, so how you guys are going to use modifiers and such, so that, you know, for certain things, like maybe we'll take this example and we'll make it a little bit better in the next episode, where, you know, we'll add certain things so that it'll only work if I did have the appropriate amount of levels, and it wouldn't, you know, accidentally give somebody else the sword, and it'll make sure that it takes the levels from me, and it'll make sure it does all that sort of stuff, right? So that's sort of what we can do with modifiers, and also we can set it up for teams, so this will only work for, say, red team, and you need to go to the blue one to work for blue team. So that's something that we'll talk about in the next episode when we talk about modifiers. So anyway, hopefully, again, you guys did enjoy. Make sure to slam that like button down below. Come check out my server, mc.mcwarside.com. And so anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm the Doctor, and I'm out. Bye.